Hey guys, what's going on? So, in case you were ever wondering why I have a Riding Hood that's a level 12, and it's so high, even though it's an event unit, and it's like, why was I specifically upgrading this at some point? And it's like so close to 15, but it's, much higher than like a 7 that I have in like other things, like a Bard, I have like a 9. What's it called? Like a Corsair, I have a 9. I have a Bruiser at a 10. I have a Cultist at 11. Why do I have a Riding Hood at a 12? At some point, I was actively trying to just switch units, and at some point it was just a fun unit, even though it comes in like the stereotypical like kind of setup. You're doing. It's kind of like, like the stereotypical setup is always, like, to me, is always going to be Scrapper, Trapper, Gunslinger, Knight Statue. And this deck has a large quantity of that. And it's using a Dryad as opposed to a Scrapper. I like the Dryad version a lot more because I don't think that you're upgrading a lot of things, and yet there is a better version of this than what I'm going to show you. But I decided to try to take this into Random League, and I think that Random League is the first time that I started liking this deck. I was just playing it just to try it out, and I just really like the mechanics of it. I was using what was I using? I was using a gadget before I was using a Trickster. And this deck sucks up so much mana that I just decided to use a Trickster. And then Trickster Mage Robe is just a combo when everybody else is using Scrapper. Because of the Scrapper nerf and you have to eat one extra thing in order to get Scrapper hits, you're punishing decks so hard with both Trickster and Mage Robes. And I think that it's really good in this deck, specifically because you are eating through a lot of mana. For anybody that doesn't understand how Riding Hood, the mechanic works, essentially it's like a Gunslinger. You have the ability to move it anywhere. And because of that, you have a couple of different mechanics that you have the ability to use, which is one, a growth tile. A growth tile is all of a sudden much more efficient because you can eat on top of a growth tile, and then you can move it away, and then you can summon in, and then you can merge onto the growth tile, and then you can eat that thing, and then, move it away, and then, summon, and you can, build up growth tile stacks like that. If in the case that they very stupidly decide to deterioration you, the lightning strike will hit the square, not the unit. So if your Riding Hood is on the square, you can move it, and then it won't. Deterioration basically does nothing to you. And then you can also, it's something, a unit that you can move anywhere on the field and eat things like a Scrapper. It allows you the freedom to do what a Scrapper can do, which is specifically create whatever field you want to have by just eating the same thing over and over and over until you get something useful in that spot. I am running a Knight Statue, Sharpened Spear Barrier. I do think that Kobold is probably better. It's just easier. You're getting the damage boost, and you're not having to upgrade a Knight Statue. I think having to upgrade a Knight Statue doesn't allow you to focus on upgrading other Riding Hoods, and you can get Riding Hoods to higher levels if you don't have to upgrade the Knight Statue. It's possible that you could run a Scrapper, because if you aren't running anything important on the field, you could get Scrapper hits and use your Riding Hood like a Gunslinger. When it's going to upgrade something, you can move it into that space. You can't eat other Riding Hoods, though, so that's important to note. If you do have a lot of Riding Hoods on the field and your level 1 decides to get hit by a Scrapper, you can't move your level 4 to that spot. And so that's going to start sucking, which is why I really like Dryad. I think that the buff to Dryad is really good. I'm using Fairy of Rage, Gift of Nature, and then multiple summoning on the summoner, because it doesn't matter what units you get, and it doesn't matter how many times you merge out your summoners, you will never get stuck because you have Riding Hood, which is essentially a scrapper. And then the other thing about it is that the alpha wolf is the one that you're going to be using. Essentially, what you need to do is you just need to speed run to 40 eats. You need to eat 40 things, and then all of a sudden it goes like super. The damage just skyrockets. You'll see it in the game, and then wound looking because then you don't have to run. It has very efficient cleanse. You just have to eat things, and you have a 50% chance of cleansing any negative effect from that specific Riding Hood. The thing about this deck in Random League is that because there's so many modifiers that have the ability to like kill you, which is like Blizzard, the Petrification Stones, the Midas Touch, because there are so many modifiers that can auto shut you down, you do have to build like an amount of you do have to build an amount of Riding Hoods. So they don't necessarily need to be high, but you need to build like 4 of them. I think I built 4 of them over the course of this game. I thought it was a really good game. Spirit Master Reaper is one of the better decks in this format. It's very good, and I think that this showcases this deck really well. I only have 1 Knight statue. Obviously, I want it in the middle, in the A2 spot, so that I can utilize every single growth tile on the field. And you, unlike other decks, you actively can utilize every single growth tile on the field because you can merge onto the spots and then move your Riding Hoods onto those spots. You can move all of them and then move them all off, or one of them off, and then constantly continue gaining that the growth tile stacks back. I think that running a Kobold might actually be better in this deck because then you don't have to level up use all your Dryads on a Knight statue, and then you can use all of those Dryads that you're saving onto your Riding Hoods. You don't get the attack speed and the crit chance, but I do think that once you get to 40, your attack speed is so fast that I don't think the additional attack speed off of a Knight statue is really helping you. You're mainly using it for the crit chance. But yeah, it's what you're gonna do in this early game is you're just gonna fill up the field with regular Riding Hoods and basically eat everything else. You can try to save your summoners in the case that you can get another summoner, and that at which point you'll get more value out of your summoner. You won't just be eating one thing. You can get a summoner, get 2 more additional units, eat 2 more things. I think that you just get value out of it, and so that's something that you can do. But you're basically just eating things. You're merging things onto tiles. If right there, I had too many Riding Hoods, and so I decided to move it onto a growth tile and merge them out. But yeah, the deck just flows really well once you understand how it all works. Whenever you eat something, you're gaining mana. You can see the plus 30. You're gaining mana for every Riding Hood that you have on the field. I do like getting merging into a level 2 in the beginning portion of the game. I don't like leveling up a level 1 Riding Hood with a Dryad. I'd rather just merge and eventually get a level 2, and then merge that up. And that's basically, and then I basically just use the 1 level 3, and then I just start eating things. Right now I'm already at 36 eats, and you can see my damage right here, and you'll see the attack speed and the damage increase once I get to 40. The difference between 0 and 39 and 40 is nuts. It's insane. So I'm already at 37. He curses me, but it honestly doesn't matter because anything that it only affects the tile. And so you can keep moving it And when it's on a tile that you don't care about, then you can just stop using that tile and then let the 1 die. So right here, I have the 40 eats, and then every stack beyond that, every stack up to it, and then every stack beyond that is giving you additional damage. So now I don't really need the riding hoods that are on my field. And so I try to start upgrading a couple of them. And that will give me the additional power that you need. You can't get locked down with a Midas Touch or a Petrification or a Blizzard, because that is very easy if you don't have a lot of riding hoods on your field, enough leveled up riding hoods on your field. Obviously, this level 5 is pretty much the highest I'm gonna get to, and I just get like a lot of level 3, level 4s, and it's good enough. It's pretty good. And like I said, I think that the Kobold version is probably a little bit better. I do end this game with 25 stacks on the Knight statue, which is pretty good. But I think that if you ran Kobold and you just filled up your field, minus the 2 Kobold spots, and then you just focused growth tile stacks, I think that might be better. And then you can obviously just keep summoning in the Kobold spots, and then merging onto the growth tiles. I think it streamlines it so that you don't have to try to get Knight statue stacks, and you don't have to use your Dryads on a Knight statue. But that's pretty much it, and then I will catch you guys next video. Right here, I did think that I was gonna die. I have a Bedlam next round as well. And here I am at 10 seconds. And then it just murders everything. I will admit that Mage Robe Trickster with the Curse of the Spirit against a Spirit Master deck is pretty gross.